Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for clicking onto a new video. So in this video, as y'all can tell by the title, not really sure what I'm gonna title it, but I wanted to share the full experience on like what happened, and I'm gonna just be sharing some more information too, just like based off my thoughts or my theory or whatever, so to let you know like why I believe what I believe. So yeah, I had mentioned already before about what had happened, well, a little bit about what had happened when I went to go visit this church or whatever. And I still have not went. I have not and when I say visit a church, like I didn't go for like a service where like other people was there, but they want me to come. But I don't feel like I'm gonna go just based off like the first experience or whatever, like just me visiting it. It just did not feel welcoming at all to me. It didn't resonate with my spirit. But okay, so when I first went there, there was 3-4 people there. One of the guys, that was my first time meeting him. He was really cool or whatever. And then I found out too that he was not brought up in the church. So I feel like he had like it seemed like he had more of an open mind than the other 3 guys. And these guys were like young too. Like I'm older than them. So that was kind of young, and that had me thinking too. It's like they probably are like, basically they probably doing it because somebody pushed this onto them, like this belief or the religion thing onto them, which is totally understandable. But I know how to think for myself, and I know how certain things feel to me, especially when it comes towards like religion and like what I believe in or whatever. And this is just based off my experiences, things that I've experienced along my journey that I've shared a lot with y'all too. So oh, and I got some other stuff over here too, y'all, I'm gonna share with y'all. But yeah, so when I first went into this church or whatever, they greeted me. They're like super friendly too. So it's like I don't feel like they are bad people, y'all. It's just like they be trying to push this whole religion thing onto people, which they feel like this is their mission too. So it's like I don't want to knock anybody's beliefs either, because like if you think about it, this belief or like what they believe in, it's like they base their whole life around it. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm bashing anybody's beliefs. It's like, believe in what you believe in, but I don't try to force my beliefs on other people either. So I just want to make that clear before I get into this. But yeah, they were showing me the pictures, which most of these pictures I've seen before, and this was like my first time seeing this because they gave me this pamphlet too. And I don't want to show, is the name of the church? Yeah, I don't want to show the name of the church. And I'm not really sure if this church has, like, I'm not really sure if, because I know they have different locations, because they did tell me that they have different locations, but I'm not really sure if all churches have this type of pamphlet, y'all. I'm not really sure, honestly. I don't know. But I had questions about one of the pictures that I had saw in this pamphlet, and I'm trying to find it. Oh, it's this one, because they had the same type of pictures like inside of the church, like this one right here. So they was basically sharing information or like telling me the backstory behind the photos. And intuitively, when I first looked at this, y'all, this is like before the meetup happened, because they asked, like they told me I can like take a look in the pamphlet, and I read the whole thing too. But to me, intuitively, for some reason, it's like I feel, and I'm not really sure if anybody else feels this way too, or if you've seen this picture before, but to me it just felt like some type of almost like a human having like a encounter with a being that's not of this world. Like, if you get what I'm saying, almost, I'm gonna just put it in simple terms, almost like somebody encountering an alien, like something that they never seen before. But I do feel strongly that this did happen. But I feel like most of this stuff, and I'm gonna tell you why I feel this way, some of this stuff, like the stories or like what they're trying to push out, especially like with the backstory, of certain things that happen like in the Bible and you know with Jesus Christ or whatever. I feel like they're leaving a lot of stuff out. So it's like I believe it, but only to a certain extent. But this is definitely how I felt when I was looking at this picture. It just feels like these three men right here. And I forgot who all this is, but I know one of them is Jesus Christ or whatever. And his father, I believe. I'm not really sure. But to me, it just feels like they are not of this world. And I'm going to get more into that in a few minutes too, because there's another picture. Yeah, it's this picture right here. And they had this picture too hanging up in a church. It was like when you first walk in, it's like right there. So I had asked them about this picture too. And I was wondering, because it's like, this is all we see, right? It's like, this is what they be showing. So I was like, how did he get here? Like, you know, where did he come from? And at first, it's like they had a hard time answering. It's like they didn't give me like a clear answer, because I guess they didn't know either. But they was saying that they was like, it's not recorded, or it's like not documented, like where he came from. But then they was like, oh, well, he ascended from the heavens or whatever. That's what they said. But yeah, to me, it just felt like there's like, he's not of this world. Like, and of course, it's like, you know, they're saying that he ascended from heaven, but it's like, oh, how can anybody prove that? Not saying it's not real or like it didn't happen, but I just feel like they could be not telling the whole story. And then it was like one other picture too that they had in there, to where, and I think it's the guy Mormon, where it's like God directed him to find the tablets, like those hidden tablets. They were like buried for a long time or something. And you can see, it's like a picture of him. Like it looked like he dug up the tablets or whatever. And then I started thinking about those emerald tablets. And I don't know like the full details on that, y'all, but it's like I did kind of look into it a little bit. I started thinking about that too. So I'm like, what if that's the same thing that they're talking about, but they calling it something else? Because it's like, we don't know. We did not exist back then. So it's like, all we know is what somebody would tell us here. So it's like, I feel like that's why you gotta do more research and look into things. It's like, don't just go into it. Like, don't follow it just because somebody's telling you like this is the way to go. But I know for sure, when I was in there, it did not feel like, my spirit did not feel like the desire to be a part or be a member of this church. It just did not feel like the way. So yeah, I had asked them the questions about the pictures or whatever. Oh, and then one of them too, when I had mentioned about, because I was like, well, where did he come from? I was like, to me, it just felt like he is not of this world, basically. Like almost like having an encounter with a divine being that's not of this world, right? And I was telling them too, I was like, it kind of feels like they were visited by an alien, basically. That's what I said. And it's like they had started laughing or whatever. But I mean, that's truly how I felt. I was like, something about this is like not, I can tell, you know, it's just based off me reading into like the picture or whatever. I'm not sure what that is. I guess that's thunder. I don't know. But they had started laughing a little bit, and I guess they never heard nobody say that before, y'all. I guess I was the first one to say that. But one of them was saying that they didn't believe. They was like, oh no, I don't believe in that type of stuff. And I was like, oh yeah. So they are, I feel like that person was very closed-minded. It's like, you know, of course they don't believe in aliens. And meanwhile, me talking about it, it's like, okay, I ain't saying it to them about it, but I was like, okay, well, I done seen a whole alien. So, you know, that's my belief, because that was my experience. That's something that I experienced personally, but I ain't saying that. And I was like, okay, yeah. Okay. But, I wanted to mention that first, but then when we went into, they showed me like some other rooms too, but it's just like, it was where they take the other people, I guess like where they do Bible study or something like that. But they took me into this other space to where I was talking about the whole baptism thing. It's like, it was in a closet. And it's crazy because when they was first trying to open it, like one of them was first trying to open it, like it didn't want to open because they had to like unlock it with a key or whatever. But it wasn't opening. They was struggling trying to open it, to where one of them had to go to like a back room or something to like come from the other side to unlock it. I was like, okay, wow, that's very interesting. And I feel like that was a sign too, like that was a red flag. I was paying attention, okay. But yeah, so they was showing me the whole the tub where they get baptized or whatever. And to me, it's almost like they really pushing this like baptism thing. And I just felt like it's like no desire in me, just felt like I needed to be baptized. It's like I don't feel like a bad person to where it's like I need to be baptized or whatever. I just don't feel like it's a need to do so. But that's based off, you know, my beliefs or whatever. It's like if you feel like you need to be baptized, but I do feel strongly it's just based off like what somebody else is telling another person to believe. And going into that too, I'ma just read, if y'all ever read the 48 Laws of Power, I just started back reading this book, right? And I came across, because I forgot where I stopped at, but I've been reading it lately. Like I just picked up from where I left off. And if you look into it, and you can look this up too, they got like the audio version on YouTube. So if you need to see it. But Law 27, y'all, it says play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Like it literally says it right here. So it's like I don't just fall into certain things that you know that people tell me, especially when it comes towards like religion or whatever, because I don't feel like I'm religious. And they already know too, like they had mentioned because it was like when I had first met them, I guess they could tell that I was like spiritual or whatever, because they had mentioned it. They brought the word up, and I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm more so spiritual, but I am open-minded. Like I will listen to what, you know, a person has to say, or you know, if they have a message to share. But this Law 27, play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. So in the 48 Laws of Power, they got like judgment, and then he goes into there's actually steps on how to do this, y'all. Like this book is pretty dangerous, okay? That's why I had to start reading it for a minute, because like if you never read it before and you start reading it, it's like you start seeing the world differently. It's like you start noticing that these people know about this type of stuff, and it be playing on people's emotions, their mental. But it's literally steps on how to create a cult-like following. I'm not even joking around. But step one, and I'm not gonna go into the whole thing, y'all, you can read it for yourself. I highly suggest you to do so. But step one, keep it vague, keep it simple. Step two, emphasize the visual and the sensual over the intellectual. So it's like they like to play on people's emotions. You know, they showing visuals too. It's like, you know, them pictures and stuff. And it's like I truly was not moved by them pictures. But I'm gonna say this though, I truly do believe that I do believe there's power behind the name Jesus Christ. Now I'm gonna say that, but I just feel like the way certain churches or people, you know, in this religious community, the way they go about doing it, I just feel like it's wrong. Because it's like a person should not have to feel like they need to be baptized or like they need to go to church. Like that, to me, that's just crazy. But I truly do believe there is power behind the name Jesus Christ, because based off my experience, and I'm gonna just share it real quick, but basically this happened in 2017. But I had like this really bad sleep paralysis moments. Like I'll never forget it. And and at first I was like, should I say this or should I not say this? And I'm gonna have to knock on a tree after this, like for real. But I have not had sleep paralysis in a while. And I used to have it a lot, but this one particular day I decided to take a nap, because I had just got off work or whatever, and I was like super tired. So I was like, let me just lay down. But it's like by the time I woke up, it was nighttime. But I remember opening my eyes, and you know how like when you first realize it's like, oh, I got sleep paralysis, like something going on. But yeah, I was like, I couldn't move, and I'm like, I'm sitting here trying to yell, like, and it felt like something was choking me. I just could not breathe. Like I'm trying to get up, but I could feel, it felt like it was a room full of people, which was super weird. And I don't know if it's just like the place I was living at or what. Like, I don't know if it was spirits up in there, but it felt like it was a room full of people just like by the bed. And it's like I could not face, like my face was facing a window. So it's like I couldn't see the doorway, but I'm trying to look, like I'm trying to so hard to move my body, but I couldn't. And I'm sitting here trying to yell. I'm like, I'm trying to yell for help, but it's like ain't nothing coming out. But then something just came to me and was like, just pray to Jesus Christ. It's like, and I remember saying, like, in the name of Jesus Christ, like, get out of here, or like, you know, leave me alone or something. Because it was like literally a fight going on. I'm trying to fight getting up, or, you know, I'm trying to move my leg or whatever. But yeah, I felt something like in the room, and I don't know what it was even to this day, but it was not a good energy. Like, it felt like I was choking. And that's not the first time that's happened to me too, where it's like it felt like someone was choking me. So I do believe in the name, you know, the power behind the name Jesus Christ or whatever. But it's just like the whole cultish type of situation is be feeling like a cult. And it's like, I don't feel like I need to be a part of some type of group or organization to draw closer to God. Now, I mean, it is cool if you do find people that have the same beliefs as you, and, you know, you create a family or like a community. But other than that, that's just about it for me. But and I did share with them too, y'all. And I guess I shouldn't have shared this, but I didn't care, because I just wanted to know like their opinion on it. But I was sharing with them, because I think I already shared it on here, about the dreams I was having about basically it's like a whole exorcism a whole exorcism going on, like a lot of paranormal activity in my dreams or whatever. I had shared it with them, but it's like they didn't really know what to say. But you could tell, because like some of the stuff I was saying, it's like I don't know, I guess they just didn't know what to say, or they just never experienced that on their own, especially when it comes towards like dark energy or something negative. Like when you talk about evil spirits and stuff, it's like they ain't want nothing to do with that. It was like, it looked like they was kind of scared, but I don't know, because I can tell their energy was different, or, you know, their vibe was like a little different when I started sharing that stuff, that type of stuff. But I really did enjoy the conversation with them or whatever. I did learn some new things, or like, you know, gain a different type of perspective on religion, but it just made me more comfortable with what I believe and like my spiritual journey or whatever, even though sometimes it can be confusing, especially when it's like trying to be pushed or forced on you, or people trying to make you feel bad for even like seeing certain things too. Because it's like the way like the energy that was given off, it was almost like I really do need to go to church, because I'm seeing this stuff, like I'm experiencing this stuff, especially when it comes towards like evil spirits or seeing certain things. And I don't feel that way. It's like, of course, yeah, I can, you know, pray to God, or like, you know, ask for like an answer to why I'm seeing this type of stuff, but not the fact that like I shouldn't feel like I'm a bad person because I'm having these type of dreams and stuff too. And I feel like it's like spiritual gifts, or like people that could be seers, like the true seers, true people that see certain things like in the spirit realm. It's like sometimes they are not accepted in a church, because it's like they can't see the deception. Oh, and I remember telling them too about this dream that I had. I don't think I ever shared it on here, y'all. And this had me thinking too, because I was like, I don't know if it was trying to tell me, or like, you know, share about the whole like these pastors and stuff that's getting exposed for like being fake. Basically, it's like they not really walking with God. Okay. But one time I had this dream, and this was like before all this stuff started coming out too, but it looked like I was in church, y'all. And this was like a black church. When I say a black church, yeah, everybody in there was black. Okay. And there was actually I'm gonna just say this person is a life coach. They do have a YouTube channel, and sometimes I do watch them, but not on a regular basis. But I like hearing this person talk or whatever. And I do feel like they are like the real deal. I don't feel like they're fake at all. But they was there too. It's like me and this person was like in the crowd, I guess you can say. And there was like several black people. I remember seeing like an older woman, and it was like another person too, y'all. I mean, they was like, it looked like the club, like seriously, because it was like dancing, it was going crazy. Like basically they was faking like they had the Holy Ghost, or the like the Holy Spirit was upon them, but it wasn't. Like I could tell, I was sitting there looking at them, and I could tell that they was being fake. And then that's how the dream ended or whatever. And I was like, wow, that's very interesting. And I had told them about that, and it was like, and that, yeah, I could tell they knew that I was telling the truth, and they agreed with it too. But it's like, you just never know like what you getting yourself into when it comes to where it's like these churches, or like, you know, these groups or whatever, because half of them ain't really walking with God either. It's like they just doing what they told to do, to get other people, to recruit other people, you know, to be a part of this community or this church or whatever. But what else I wanted to say? Oh yeah, but I really wanted to share what I read in the 48 Laws of Power, Law 27. And I wanted to read, but I wanted to read one part of it though, y'all. But I don't want to read like the whole thing, honestly, because it's a lot. There is actually 5 steps, because they even talk about money too. Yeah, step 4, it talks about disguise your source of income. And this is talking about, look, they literally are saying where how these churches be taking people's money. See, it's like they be making promises that if you what is it called, like, you know, passing around a collection plate. And I actually had saw a movie, I think it was like on Tubi, where they was talking about that too. It's like the pastors and stuff be living better than the people, you know, that they preaching to. So it's like something ain't right about that either. But I don't feel like you should have to give your money to a church. It's like, yeah, okay, you can donate, but don't make people feel bad for not giving their income to the church. Now that's a red flag too, but I be seeing that a lot going on, and I don't feel like that's right. So I wanted to mention something else too, y'all. I should have wrote down this stuff, y'all, but I'm not like a good planner when it comes to like talking about certain things. I just be like speaking what's on my mind or whatever. But there's another thing too I wanted to point out, and I know some people may not agree with this, but even though I never read like the full Bible, it's like I know enough to know what I need to know, right? But what always stuck out to me is like the part where, and they don't really talk about this a lot too, like they failed to mention this part, right? But I remember where they gave like a description, like a slight description. And that's crazy too. It's like they don't really know. I found it kind of odd to where it's like they don't really talk about his full description. It's just what they want to show you, which feels off to me as well. But they said that he had hair like wool, and he had like a darker hue. That means his skin was dark, and he had feet that was like a burnt bronze. Now, if that is not describing a black person, I don't know what is. So it's like, I don't believe nothing that they show, the pictures or whatever. It's like, yeah, he could have looked somewhat like that, but I don't feel like he looked like that, if you get what I'm saying. So I wanted to mention that too. And I just wanted to share that just so you can understand, like, you know, what I believe or whatever. But I just wanted to share my experience, y'all, with me visiting a church or having a conversation with people that are religious. Oh, and I actually had saw them again, y'all. And see, this is another thing too. This was like after I had shared about the whole tub situation with the in the baptism room or the closet or whatever. They had mentioned, like, one of them, and this is the same one that don't believe in aliens or whatever. He was like, oh no, because I had mentioned the History Channel, because I was like, I had watched something on the History Channel, and it had me thinking, like, you know, where did he come from? You know, this religious figure that they're saying that is Jesus. But he had mentioned, because like I didn't come to, oh, I guess they wanted me to, they wanted to meet up with me again, like they wanted to talk again or whatever. And I was actually doing something else So I did not text back or whatever. And I guess they was wondering, like, you know, where I was at or what I was doing, y'all. Um, but one of them had mentioned, they was like, oh, they was like, yeah, well, you know, it takes two, like, you know, to make the effort. So basically he's trying to say that I'm not making the effort to come to church. And I was like, you know what, see, I'm not gonna say nothing because I'm gonna be respectful or whatever. But and that's the only thing too, is like, you know, it's like you don't have to be so pushy or like make it seem like somebody needs to go to church or whatever. But that's all I'm saying. It's like, I'm not, because I got a mind of my own. It's like, I know I cannot be controlled. It's like, you're not just about to say something to me and it's like I'm gonna fall into, you know, your beliefs or whatever. Because it's like, you can't make me go. You can't force me to go to church or whatever. If I feel the need to go, then I'm gonna go. Or if I feel like doing it, then I'm gonna do it. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, y'all. I wanted to share my little experience or whatever, with just having a conversation with these members of a church. So yeah, I really hope you guys found, like, some of y'all could be able to resonate with what I'm saying, and maybe you feel better too, especially, you know, if you do consider yourself to be spiritual and you may have religious people around you, like family members. It's like, yeah, don't feel bad for what you believe in. I feel like it's just based off how you feel, honestly, because everybody has different type of experiences on their spiritual path. Like how I was shown an alien one time. Somebody may not believe in aliens, but I do. And at first I wasn't really sure if aliens exist until one showed itself to me. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. So I just wanted to share that, y'all. But thank you very much for watching, and I'm gonna go.